Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our weekly LinkedIn Live. And as usual, it's me, Adrian, and with me together is...
Yen, hi everybody. It's Friday.
It's Friday, and it's a wonderful sunny day here at the studio slash office of ours. And, if you've been having a busy week like we
We
have...
have had such a busy week.
Yeah.
Such a busy week. I'm so happy it's Friday.
Yeah, the day's not over yet. We still got a couple of engagements today, but it's been a good week, and I hope you've been having a great week too.
Yeah, and we're happy to share with you some fresh ideas. And today we've got some exciting news. We want to launch a particularly interesting and new application, and I think it's going to be very, very useful.
Yeah, because a lot of times when you get called up by your headhunter and the headhunter asks you, can you share your salary details with me?
Yeah.
No.
And then,
No, I'm not going to share it with you.
wait, how does it go again? Ask
So,
me.
can you share your salary details with me?
Why?
Because I need to know. I need to know what you're making right now.
Or worse, the response would be, "What's your budget?"
My budget? Yeah, I know, right? So timid. But today we're not going to talk about how to respond to what's your salary question. It's really legit. You've ascertained that the role is real, the
Yeah.
discussion is going on well, and then they're asking you, what is your salary? And the problem is,
Yeah, if you are unprepared, I mean, the couple of things that come up, most of the individuals that I've met, and I'm sure you've met the same, if we ever ask them about their salary details, they kind of change their appearances a little bit. They feel a bit awkward because they're trying to do the sums in their mind, or they're trying to think, they're not prepared to answer.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, there's this awkwardness.
worst thing is you give the wrong numbers.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
if you
and it's
give
tricky.
the wrong number on the high end, I think that's okay.
And then they say, oh, you're trying to inflate your numbers, is it?
Don't we all?
No, but the challenge also is, particularly in Singapore, and it's a very uniquely Singaporean thing, there is a 12-month versus 13-month basis thing.
I think that's a practice that has been lessened somewhat.
Yeah, but you still get it.
It occasionally comes up.
So I've had this situation where I had this individual who said, I'm on 12K a month, okay? And then they calculated everything based on his 12K per month times 12. And then he forgot to add that it was times 13.
Yes.
So when they gave him the offer, it was the same as where he was the last time, similar. They said, no, there was a 13th month. They said, you didn't tell me, because we added it in. Ultimately, it was resolved, but how then do we articulate the numbers in a format that headhunters and recruiters and HR actually understand?
So today we want to go through the components of your compensation, and we want to make sure that you're prepared with all that calculation so that you never ever get caught.
Money. Today we're going to talk
never
about
ever
money.
get caught again. Yeah.
Show me the money. Yeah, show me. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I had too much coffee this morning, so it's good.
I have not enough.
We want to give a shout out right now to our listeners on Spotify. Our Spotify audience is growing really fast. And if you're not already on Spotify, please go to Spotify and look for The Career Strategists. We are there. We have uploaded close to 60 episodes, hour-long episodes. That's a lot.
It's a lot of nagging.
No, it's not nagging. It's great advice. And I think a lot of sharing. And if you want it to be more listenable, just set it to 1.5.
Yeah.
You can...
So if you have any questions about salary or the compensation components, please type into the chat and I will be happy to answer.
Yeah. So we're going to answer the question, what's your salary? But we have to give you a warning first. Okay, a disclaimer, warning. Warning, math ahead. A lot of math ahead.
Yeah, Adrian's good at math. I can't. So I'm going to just
I don't know on
keep
Friday
quiet
morning
and
whether
do
I'll be
that.
good at maths on a Friday morning.
Yeah, we were just saying that if he has half a brain, I have half a brain. And
But then you will get
it's
one full brain
pretty
on it
good.
today. But
I'm tired.
when it comes to numbers,
I can't.
it's all about being accurate and painting a clear picture. So we're going to run through numbers. There's going to be some mathematics ahead. So if you really
But
want,
truth be told, these are important mathematics. So
Yeah.
we should get a handle on them.
it's okay. We're not going to move into partial fractions or calculus. Okay, it's just basically mathematics, adding, subtraction, and
Multiplication.
and hopefully multiplication, because you want it to be bigger,
Yeah.
and not division or subtraction. Poor math. So okay, so
Let's get
hold on,
let's get
let's
cracking.
get cracking. Okay, lovely. Once again, if you've got any questions, please jump in. So what does your salary consist of? And you see, for those of us who are
Live.
watching on a live screen, the
Let's-
words are way too small. So
Let's make that bigger.
let's make it bigger, okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at your salary components, it's basically this largely consisting of your base salary. Let me see if I can turn my pointer over there. You can see probably, yeah. Okay, so the base salary is there, is what you get, what you take home every month times 12 or times 13. There's a certain variable component, which is your commissions. If you're in sales, sometimes it's in the form of profit sharing as well. And blah. We're going to jump into the details a little bit more later on. And then there are benefits, there are car allowances. Car allowances are fixed, depending on your company policy. And then the stock options. So these are by and large the main components of your salary.
Each of these components would have sub-components. So
And each of these sub-components have sub-components.
So the commissions, for example, would also have some organizations would have a degree of hold back for bad debt. For instance, if you have clients that have not paid the invoice. So again, that depends. And the other components like benefits, I mean, it encompasses everything. So some organizations are a bit more generous. Those benefits might include parking, or maybe that would be, I mean, benefits like medical and dental and optical and
All the other goodies.
derma fillers, gym memberships. Under the car allowance, we've got components that are related to transport. So parking, and in Singapore, we have this thing called the electronic road pricing.
Yeah.
So that would involve
All
some
the pieces.
organizations.
I don't know. It
provide
all
that.
depends. All depends on.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
but we'll
organizations
jump into
might
the
pay for
details
that.
in a while. Okay.
Yeah.
But in a big helicopter view of things, this is what the main thing we want to share with you is that there are two main components. Okay.
The fixed and the
fixed
variable.
and the variable. So that's okay. There's three main components: the fixed part of your salary, and the variable part of your salary. And for those of us here who are still hard of seeing, especially if you're reading off your phone, I'm gonna be generous and, in fact, let's make it big, okay, so you can see.
There you go.
Okay, no, I think this is better. Okay, the three main components of your salary are number one, your fixed component, which is a fixed salary, which is guaranteed throughout the year. Second would be the variable, which is your
Performance bonuses,
bonuses.
or your commissions,
Yeah.
and everything else that's in excess of that, including retention bonuses.
Yeah, all sorts of bonuses. As long as it's an extra, it's a bonus. We are going to jump into finer detail, but this is what we're looking at. And plus benefits. Benefits vary from company to company. I have seen individuals turn down offers before because the benefits are not matching
Yes.
the previous company.
Same.
Even though the total package was better.
Yes, exactly. So there was a story about a particular organization that offered pediatric care. And while the individual got an offer with another organization for 30% up, that person decided to turn it down because in favor of the pediatric care, which could exceed, we don't know,
Yeah.
which could exceed because pediatricians charge an arm and a leg. We all know that.
Yeah. For all you pediatricians out there, be kind. So anyway, but we all know, we've all been there, we're parents ourselves.
And there are other benefits. There are some organizations that offer up to $4,000-5,000 a year for you to buy new electronics. Why not? That's exciting.
You know, there is a Korean brand company out there that actually gives $3,000 to, you just basically walk into a Harvey Norman or a Courts and buy, as long as it's their product in there, they'll offset you up to a budget of.
I think that's amazing.
That's nice, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it's cool. I think so. Some companies are really generous on the benefit. So we want to jump into the actual details itself. Now
Let's go.
Fixed salary consists of all guaranteed amounts. So when the headhunter asks you what's your fixed salary, they're asking what's guaranteed, which means that even in a bad year, when a company loses everything, okay, you're still gonna get that guaranteed amount,
Yep.
which consists of your monthly salary, your car allowances or transport allowances, and the guaranteed bonus. So now, we want to explain a little bit. So if you're getting like 10,000 a month on the monthly salary, that's guaranteed. And if you are on a normal times 12, which means 12 months, so your guaranteed is 120K. If, however, you're on a 13-month basis, you normally factor in the AWS, the annual wage supplement, they call it. Okay, and your guaranteed therefore is 130. We're going to run through some numbers later with you. That's why math warning, right?
there are recruiters and HR from the companies who will tell you something like this. Every year, everyone will typically get a minimum of 2 months bonus. So, Adrian, is that guaranteed or is that not guaranteed?
Good question. I would. It's still variable.
It is not guaranteed.
It's still variable.
So
See,
if
try and
they,
test me, right? Try and twist me. Okay, see.
if it's
Pass.
because organizations have a reputation, right, and a practice, and that practice is to give a minimum of 2 months to everyone, regardless. But it's still not cast in stone. It's not written that you will definitely get the 2 months.
Yeah.
So it is it's never certain
Yeah.
until it is rewritten in your
Yeah.
contract.
That's true. And the flip side is true also. Therefore, if you're negotiating a salary with a company you're going to join and they say, oh, the variable of is up to 4 months, but we minimally get 2 months, so it's kind of guaranteed. It's not guaranteed.
It's not guaranteed.
Not guaranteed. It's not
Yeah.
guaranteed until it's on paper. Okay. So you have to be mindful about that. Now, the question is, why does Singapore have this 13-month special thing? And it's a favorite story I like to tell. Who wants to hear the story? Okay, I know you do. So,
Please go ahead, Adrian.
so why does Singapore have this unique? It's kind of a throwback to the British days, the colonial days. In the old days, people would get their salary on the fourth Thursday of the month or fourth Friday of the month. Then you will get your monthly salary, and the British government, the colonial government, would pay out. But what they realize is, then for every 4 weeks you get a package, you get your salary, right? By December, you would have gotten your 12th month of salary. But if you look, 4 months times 12 is 48. What happened in a year of 52 weeks, right? You're missing 4 weeks of salary. Therefore, the government or the employer tops up that final 1 month. And therefore, that's called the annual wage supplement. Now, is it true? Is it false? I have no idea. Because
I've always thought that because we were uneducated, and that the moment the money comes in, it goes out into daily living expenses. That we were given the 13th month because it was to help
we're
us
too
pay
stupid to
tax.
save.
No, it was to help us pay the taxes for the following year.
Okay. Yeah,
So the annual wage supplement, I thought, again, this is what I was told. I didn't do the research, but it was to give us a helping hand to pay the taxes that was going to come up in April.
So, let us know whether it's true or false. Anyway, this story I was told was from a really old-timey civil servant back who retired in the 70s, 80s. I heard it when I was very young. So, I guess it's kind of true.
I have no idea.
I have no idea. If you know the actual history behind it, please let me know. Let us know, because I'm really curious as well. And I'm wondering whether they do it in England or in Britain or not.
I have no idea.
In the old empire.
I think you've got to stop talking like that.
You
In
must
old
be
days, in the old
in the
days.
old days. Are you barking mad?
Okay, no.
Okay.
So that's the fixed salary
The fixed component of it, right?
Yeah.
But you can't just talk about a fixed component, because sometimes we have companies that have a policy of your base is 80% of your total, and then some companies have a base is 50% of the total. So even if you're making 100 grand, supposing a year on fixed, you could be making as little as one month of variable bonus versus a sales, or some company may give you another 100% up on that. So you can't just talk about the base alone. You got to talk about the variable component.
I'm just listening to you, and I'm imagining someone who is not looking at the slides and thinking, gosh, I don't know what you're talking about. What's this 50% of total and what's this 100% of
No,
total?
no, it's only because you can't
So-
math, Ian.
No, I
So
can't.
you can't math on a
So
Friday.
sometimes,
Okay,
if
you have to
sometimes
simplify it,
An
okay?
organization may tell you that your guaranteed is say 100,000 a year, but your actual base is only 50,000 a year, because you have to make up the other 50,000 in commissions or in other manners. So that's what we're trying to say. So yeah, that's the fixed. Fixed means what you get per month, regardless of what happens, and then there's the variable, which is this slide.
Yeah. So the variable component consists of your annual bonuses, ka-ching, commissions, ka-ching. We should have the sound effect. Ka-ching. And performance bonuses, Ka-ching, ka-ching, if you have been performing, or sometimes even in the form of profit sharing. So all these you have to include in your bundle when you talk to your headhunter or your recruiter.
Yep, absolutely. So annual bonuses can be a Christmas bonus, or it can be something that the organization does for its staff. Commissions obviously can be quite complicated depending on how and what those targets are. And by the way, just a quick extension to the calculations of commissions. There are gateways occasionally, like if you do not hit a certain number, you don't get any commission regardless. And then there are those that accelerate as well, because if you exceed certain targets, then the commissions can be exponential. So that's going to be quite exciting as well. And so there are many ways that organizations reward their performers.
Yeah. So if you're in sales and you're talking to the new company and offers almost on the table, you might want to dig down into their commission structure as well.
And what the quotas typically are.
Yeah.
And we know that year on year they just keep adding to that quota, and then
Yeah.
they make that gate a little bit further away. Yeah,
So
it happens.
it is important. Like what you mentioned as well, there are some companies that give a clawback clause, and a clawback clause is they want to claw back in case of bad debt. So they'll give you a commission, but they'll keep 2 months or keep a certain percentage in case it goes bad.
Yeah.
And that money sometimes you never get to see it, because if you resign, they're not going to give it to you. Once again, it depends on the on the documentation,
depends.
right?
But I remember a time in a previous life, I negotiated with my leaders for quota relief during maternity, because apparently they don't care. They expect you to work right through. Because of the work I was doing. I mean, I was recruiting, and we're like, hey, hang on.
Cruel.
Yeah, right?
Cruel. And the other thing that is important as well is when the payouts are, because story time.
Pay upon
Story
payment.
time.
Pay
Story
upon
time, huh?
invoice collection.
Story time. I know there was this very large global headhunting firm, which shall not be named. Okay. They have a policy of paying out all commissions in January or February of the year. So the lump sum commission is boom, you get it here. And if the boss doesn't like you, he fires you in December.
Wow.
And a lot of people have done that. I've gotten
That's
let
tough.
go. And so you have to watch out on the compensation deals that are coming in. So you have to pore through it. And my advice is this: if you're stuck, drop us a note, info@careeragility.org. We have a career clinic, it's just a per hour session. Send your information to us, and we will pore through it. And we're not lawyers, but we've seen enough employment contract deals to tell you whether it's kind of fair-ish.
Speaking of organizations, there's this other organization that I heard. I don't know if they still practice it. In year one of your work, you get no performance bonus. All of the work that you've done in year one is paid out at the end of year two.
Well, what?
Yeah.
What?
So you
Seriously?
work for year one, and it's kept in a kind of like arrears, and then you work for all of year two. It's like a retention.
That's not a retention. That's a ransom.
That's true.
That's not a retention, but it's a ransom bonus.
The organization is so famous that people would just queue
Later
to
offline,
join
you tell
the
me which one.
organization.
Later offline, you tell me.
I don't know if they still practice
No,
it.
I think that's not a retention bonus. That's a bonus in ransom. Okay, because you never get
I
it.
remember this because I plucked someone out of that organization into another company,
Yeah.
and we had a hard time trying to explain this practice
Yeah.
to his future
And
employer.
if you are stuck in that situation, we know how to unwind it. Okay, give us a call once again. info@careeragility.org. The beauty of working with us is that we are both former headhunters/recruiters, so we know all the tricks of the trade, especially when it comes to salary negotiation. Salary negotiation is our forte, especially for me, because I've been quite cheeky with.
Yeah,
I've
I've seen and
You've
I've,
seen enough,
I've
right?
done,
You've seen
I've
enough.
done some things
Yeah.
I do not want to say.
Yeah. Yeah, come talk to us, okay? So that's the variable salary piece. But let's talk about the benefits. If you are an expatriate, okay, the benefits can actually add up to a lot. Even 50% of your total compensation, which is quite daunting if you want to. So if you throw a big number out, it can even go up to about $800,000, $900,000. I know this individual, 4 kids, in international school. Yeah,
That's
when they calculated everything, it was really off the scale already. So when the headhunter asked him what's your package, he threw the whole number out. No one wanted to hire him, but there are ways around it. Once again, come talk to us. Okay, but these are the benefits. Now the big question is this: if the benefits don't match, do you want to take the job?
That's an important question. You have to figure out whether or not that strategy is aligned to your future goals. You have to also decide whether or not the organization has got potential
Yeah.
for making up for whatever it is that you're walking
Yeah.
away from.
Yeah.
And so think about the pull and the push, and
And
we'll
I want to
we'll
be
help
and I
you
want to be
unravel.
cheeky. I want to be cheeky here, okay? So for all the expatriates out there, okay, so I know this individual expatriate in Singapore for 5 years already. He's getting his house, his car, everything, education, all done. And he quit his job, and he was let go. He was retrenched, and then when another job offer came along, it did not have an expat package, and
Yep.
he was arguing for an expat package.
Yep.
And he said, no, this is a local term. He said, no, I'm an expat. I have to have an expat package. And you know what the HR told him? What's the definition of expat? Expat means I expatriate you from your home country to here.
You're already here.
You're here. You're no longer an expatriate. You're not being expatriated. You are a local. So can't argue with logic like that, right? So if you're in a situation like this, once again, come talk to us because it gets tricky, and we have a lot of expat clients as well.
I want to just state for the record that while Adrian thinks that he has all the answers, actually...
This is the disclaimer part. She always gives a disclaimer.
I'm just going to
okay?
be like very careful. We don't want to overpromise, but we do have some ideas, and they require a little bit of unraveling. We're not going to promise you that we're going to resolve all of your money questions, but chances are we can answer a few of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of benefits, right? When we're not talking about just expats alone. Locals have all sorts of benefits as well, and the most basic thing would be your allowance for leave, for example, whether or not you get time off from work, paid time off, and I think that's important.
Work from home days.
Work from home,
Yeah, there's a new thing as
flexible
well.
benefits, and one of the other little benefits that tend to grate on my nerves is the fact that the organization expects you to work from home, but does not compensate you for your broadband, your printer, and your equipment, and the
Your
things that-
aircon.
It's very expensive because
Yeah.
our tariffs, our electricity tariffs have gone up.
You know, every month I cry
Okay.
when I open up my electric bills and go like, oh shucks, it went up again.
It
Yeah.
has been so little things like that add up to, so it's more than just these 4 bullets that you see on the slide.
Yeah, so lots more.
There are many other little things that you want to think about as well, and so it's important that you figure out what you currently have so that you know what to ask for and what's important to you when you do move into your new role.
Yeah. So all these pieces, sometimes some organizations will pay for your masters, some of them will pay for your kids'
Yeah.
education,
Subscription.
So lots of things. Okay?
Broadband and
Yeah.
data.
So you have to tally up all your benefits as well.
Mobile
so that
phones. Yes.
mobile phone allowances.
Especially if I have to travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we're looking at is this math warning.
Okay, math
Okay.
coming up.
So your total so when a headhunter calls you up,
Do you want
and
to make the
asks-
screen a little bit bigger?
Okay, for those
For the
who-
math.
For the math. Okay.
Here we go.
So when it comes to the headhunter asking you, so Yen, what's your salary? Okay, what they're actually asking for is what's your total compensation?
What's your annual?
Okay,
Yes.
annual. So we want to talk about your fixed salary, as we mentioned, plus the variable, plus the benefits. Now the benefits may or may not be quantifiable. Okay.
Yep.
But it's good that you list it down anyway beforehand. Now, let me share with you a live example. Okay, so for those of us listening on Spotify, if you can turn on your video, you can actually see the numbers. But if you're probably listening to Spotify on your phone, the numbers are going to appear ant size. So if you have an Ant-Man suit on now, maybe you want to shrink yourself so you can see it better. But if you look at it, okay, so example, an individual makes 10,000 a month, round number. So his fixed salary is 120,000 a year. His fixed basic salary is 120,000 a year, which means it's times 12. Or if he's on a 13-month, the way he should respond is, my basic fixed salary is 130,000. Okay, so it all depends. In this case, it's 130,000. And then if you have a variable bonus, say 3-month bonus, you just say my variable bonus was 30,000. Now, what if the previous year was 3 months, but the previous year was 1 month, and the previous year was 4 months? What do you do then, Ian?
I'd go with the median. I'd go with the most recent, and then
The average.
expound on it a little bit more.
I'm gonna be cheeky, yeah. I'm gonna be cheeky, yeah. I'm gonna be cheeky.
Because the previous was COVID, but the previous was not COVID,
So okay,
and
yeah,
it was
yeah.
a boom time.
So whichever is higher, okay. So if your last year's bonus was really high, 4 months, 5 months, then say, oh, my variable is 5 months, okay. If your last year's bonus was 1 year, 1 month, but the previous was 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, go with the average. So effectively, you're not lying.
But you are
You're being
being,
selective
being-
over information that you share. And
I think it's fair to declare the different years.
I would give the historical information.
I would give the
okay?
historical information because you want to be
Transparent.
completely
Yeah.
high integrity.
Yeah, but it's yeah. So we're not telling you to fudge the truth, okay? But it's which version of the truth you want to share.
Oh dear, Adrian,
It's terrible.
please stop digging the hole.
Okay, no, I'm just kidding. But it's all a matter of perspective, okay? And now, so the total compensation for this individual, if it's on a 13-month, is 160,000
Yeah.
plus benefits.
Yep.
So that's how you do it. And whatever the benefits is X dollars in value. You can just share. Sometimes, well, sometimes, many times, the benefits you cannot negotiate on benefits because it's
Yep.
company policy.
That's right.
So even right down to leave days.
Yeah.
I had this client, non-local from Europe, coming into Singapore, worked in the Singapore company as an expatriate, and because he's from Europe, he had 40 days of annual leave.
Wow.
40 days. 40 days.
So did he sign a
That's like 2 months off, 40 days is like...
Did he sign the European contract or did he sign the Singapore contract?
He was seconded. He was expatriated to the Singapore market. So when he wanted to sign the Singapore contract, the Singapore company, he wanted 40.
He needed, yeah.
He wanted 40 days. And he said, no, that's my entitlement. And the company, unfortunately, could not offer 40 days because it was not policy.
Was it a deal breaker?
It was a deal breaker, but I managed to help negotiate it.
Find some
and
compromise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's important.
If you want to know what the info is, come reach out to me again. We're not gonna give away the farm online, but there are ways around it. And once again, like what Yan said, we are not guaranteeing you a solution, but we can proffer you some options that you can put on the table in front. Salary negotiation is an art, it's a skill, and I think people who come to us for salary negotiation, the ROI is the highest.
Yes, because if you think about it, the earlier you land the higher paying job, the more money you have in your pocket, net present value.
Yeah.
So here we
Ka-ching,
go.
ka-ching. Yeah, we must have that ka-ching sound effect. Come on. Okay.
Okay.
Technical team. Wait a minute. I'm the technical team.
All right.
Okay. So here are some tips when you're negotiating a salary. Okay. So when you're negotiating a salary, use your total compensation, which is your base and your variable. The benefits you can park aside first, but use your total compensation as a
As a starting
basis.
point for discussion.
Yeah.
But I want to disagree here with you in that try not to inflate that figure too much, especially if
It
you're
could bite you,
benefited.
yeah.
It may not work. And when negotiating your salary, they will break down the components. So then you can compare fixed with fixed,
Yeah.
benefits with benefits, variable with variable, commissions, etc. So you do not want to take your central provident fund,
stash it in and go like.
throw it all in and say because I came from some other
Let me
country.
tell you a funny story.
Wait, don't interrupt me.
Sorry.
So when you come from a different country and maybe you've landed here in your first year, you don't really have to contribute to the CPF, and then beyond that, at some point your CPF contributions go up, and you're thinking, gosh, because I didn't contribute to CPF, so my fixed component was a lot higher, and then they wanted to inflate that figure, and it can get a little bit difficult in the details. So okay, back to your story.
Okay.
I'm sorry, did I
No.
interrupt your train of thought?
Yeah, you did. I was thinking, okay, rewind. Okay, a clear buffer, clear cache. Okay, reload. Okay, no, you got a point.
It's very interesting. You interrupted me, and then
I-
I'm apologizing
I
because
know,
you
and then
lost your train of thought.
I
How is that
know.
fair?
It's so-
Okay, sorry.
Okay,
Back to
our regular
schedule.
programming.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had this situation once. Hold on, let me just put the big screen back up. So I had this situation once. This oil company, okay, this client, we were hiring someone from another oil company, and this oil company has a policy of a 4.5 day work week.
Nice.
Because they used to have to go to the plant and everything, and then so to compensate for the travel to and fro, they have a 4.5 day work week. So when the package was given out, to this offer was made to this guy, he came back and he said, actually 4.5 day work week translates to
X
a
dollars.
10% increase. So if you're not going to give me that
Extra 10.
extra half day off, I expect a 10% increase on that. And it was a deal breaker. Okay.
Wow.
And guess what? The company policy, I'm not going to give it to you, so he didn't get it. He overplayed his hand. I think he
Right.
overplayed his hand. Yeah. So and he said it was a deal breaker.
I had a similar story on very tiny deal breakers. So I found a person who'd worked in the US for company B.
Okay.
But he'd worked for company A, US,
Okay.
before that.
Okay.
So he was in company A, and then he went in company B,
Okay.
and then I plucked him out of company B,
Okay.
and placed him in APAC, company A.
Okay.
So he
Yeah.
came back to the same organization, different entity,
Okay.
because this is Asia Pacific. Everything was fine. All the bits and bytes, all the money, all the leave, everything
okay.
was fine.
I hear a big but.
He asked for
Uh-huh.
his original company A tenure to be recognized.
Oh.
So that by the time he joined company A Asia, that he'd not start from ground zero.
Hang on. So when he left company A, was it voluntary or he was retrenched? Or
No, he quit
he
to
quit
join company B. Yeah.
Which is a subsidiary of company A.
Which is not a subsidiary. It's a completely different entity. So he'd worked for A and he went
But
to
it's the same
B.
parent company.
He worked in A, he went to B, and then he came to join A Asia Pac.
Oh, but he went to B.
He went to B first.
He had a fling.
He exited
He had
and then he came back.
He had a fling and he came
So
back.
it's a bit of a, we call them boomerangs, but again, separate entities. And he asked for the first 2 years of his tenure and his time at company A to be recognized, so that by the time he starts in entity Asia, he'd be 2 years on the job. And this was a huge block.
So did he get it?
It was such a big block.
Did he get it?
I got it for him, and
Nice.
HR made me persona non grata because I went to the business owner. I mean, I went to the business unit owner to get it done.
HR.
So, but it was interesting. Good for him, because eventually, the benefits that accrue from seniority is important.
And also, if he ever gets retrenched, he's got
did.
that number of years. He did, yeah.
He did.
So, did he send you a bouquet of flowers?
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't. You see.
But
He-
that's not the point of the story. The point of the story is that seniority comes with privileges, and
Yeah.
sometimes if you think about all the components of your compensation, there are little things that we never thought about. Just not trying to give away the farm, but think about it.
Yeah. Nice. Don't forget your other elements as well. Sometimes
Huge.
the employee stock options, your sign-on bonuses, and retention. So there are a lot of other things that we can negotiate with for you
Stock
on your
options are
behalf.
complicated though.
Yeah.
They have the,
There are
the
taxation
limited ones, and there are tax issues.
and there are taxation issues, implications as well. So that one we cannot help you with. Okay, that one you must talk to your tax advisor at HR, especially if in the happy situation where they do get vested, and then you got to pay tax. So lots of implications which we are not going to get into. But there are also sign-on bonuses. We've been particularly, as Headhunters, we try to get sign-on bonuses for our clients. On a case-to-case basis, not everyone can get a sign-on bonus. It depends on how you position it. If you are curious to find out more, come talk to us once again. retention bonus, all sorts and forms of bonuses.
We call them sweeteners.
Yeah, sweetness,
Yeah.
icing on the cake, gravy.
Which is, I think it's important if you feel that that transition is going to be a bit rough, and that perhaps there's some hardship involved. Yeah, hardship allowance.
So it's all about show me the money, show me the money. So what I want to share with you today is this: no, if you found the whole equation what we're talking about too complicated, go to our website. We have a new app. It's called My Salary Calculator. Okay, you can. There's a QR code over here, which I'm gonna blast it up for those of us on. Okay, no, I cannot blast that one up because the silly thing is being blocked. Okay, there you can just go to www.careeragility.org, which is our website, /mysalary. There is a calculator app over there. If you key in your information and you just click calculate, your output is there. Okay, and there's a copy and paste function, which means you click to copy the information, the output, and you can just paste it to the email. If a headhunter asks you, what's your salary? You can just copy and you paste it and you can drop it to him, because it also includes a percentage increase that you're asking for, and it computes the salary increase. Okay, so
what I like about this particular calculator, I mean, first of all, it's not rocket science, is it? I mean, you input a bunch of numbers and then you get a total number. What I really like about this is that it projects your total earnings for your lifetime of work. So you can see exactly what value you bring, and you can plan accordingly for your dependents and for your
future.
retirement.
Yep.
And I think that's something that puts a lot of things into perspective. Like, so if you were to try to perhaps invest in yourself, when for example you want to study a little bit more, and you think about your capacity of your lifetime, the next 20 years of your career, and you're making what is that?
Huge
And
amounts, yeah.
also to think about what's your insurance coverage required
Yeah, that's also
in case
true.
anything
That's also
happens
true.
to you. And by the way, insurance coverage is also part of benefits. Make sure you check that box off as well. When
Yeah.
you check your compensation.
So feel free to scan the app right now. The QR code is there. We do not collect personal information, personally identifiable information.
Yeah, there's nothing in
So
there,
there's
yeah.
nothing. You don't have to key in your email. It's not a data trap. It's a service. It's a software we created. Took us about 2 months to clean this to build it, but it's a public service. And if you have any further questions about either how to frame your salary when you're having a discussion on the job, or if you are thinking like, hey, how do I increase my salary? Come talk to us. As always, we are very good at your salary negotiations. If you're having challenges at the workplace, please come to us as well, talk to us. Or if you're looking for a role. Now, we have a question from Eric. Hi, Eric. How are you? Okay, his question is, assuming that the salary and benefits meet our expectation at the first offer, do we push for more?
And the answer is
Always be pushing for more. More money, more money, more money.
I think if you did your research and the organization has been entirely transparent, and we assume good intentions, then the answer is yes.
Yeah.
But if you feel like there's a game on afoot, then again, so I like to have more information.
Yeah, once again, it depends. Okay, but there's no harm asking for more, because sometimes if you don't ask, you don't get. But the bigger question at stake is how much do I ask for? What sort of increment do I look at?
Yeah.
We can't answer that question because it depends.
But I think given the question, it's like assuming that the benefits already meet expectations. Did you first put up the number? If you said if the companies asked you what is your expectation if we were to make you an offer, and you said 100,000, and the company offers you exactly what you asked for, and you turn around and go, no, actually I was thinking more, that would not be nice. So,
But there's ways of working around it as
who
well.
declared the number first?
Yeah, but there are ways to declare to work around it. Okay, reach out to us once again. We'll share with you how to do
Who
it.
declared
Okay.
the number first? If you ask for A and the company says, here, I'll give you A, and then you turn around and go like,
I
no,
changed my mind.
I
You-
want A plus plus.
You
Seriously?
You agreed to it way too fast, which makes me nervous. So
You didn't do enough research.
Yeah, your price of me just went up, unless you throw in a Mercedes Benz with. No, just kidding. So it's all about salary negotiation, okay, and this is a preamble to the salary negotiation piece. And salary negotiation is an art in itself. Don't go in alone because you might just be leaving money on the table and walking away. So I would actually say don't journey alone without the expertise of career experts like us. So reach out to us, info@careeragility.org. We know our stuff and we're able to help you to navigate the choppy and treacherous waters. Too much drama.
Very. I think it's a Friday thing.
But it
Alright.
makes us happy. I mean, it makes us happy to be able to help individuals. I can tell you that one of the biggest joys of being a headhunter in my previous incarnation.
Commissions.
Yeah, the commissions are damn good. But besides the commissions, is to see someone move to a better role, have
Yes.
more money,
And are
okay,
happier.
the more money that they deserve,
Yeah.
and it reflects in their family life as well. Their whole life is impacted, and that's why it's amazing. So likewise today, if you are in a career conundrum, and if you really want to be able to have if you have questions, you want to ask us, we're always very happy to give you advice. You can reach out to me, reach out to us at Career Agility. Okay, you can just drop us a note. Or if you want to WhatsApp us, it's 88. Oh, I forgot the number. 8838-0557. I repeat, 8838-0557. That's my sexy voice. It's not working.
It's no. Well, email us at info@careeragility.org.
Yeah.
And, have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend
everyone.
ahead. Take care. Bye. Bye, guys.